him and Dad was Rita loved it.
That is so
Yeah, Rita started it, dude. Well, guys, welcome to the VIP. I appreciate y'all coming. I do need one more video, though, you know, just to make a little video when I'm on the airplane, because I'm pretty quick at this Instagram stuff. Maybe I'll Instagram. This would be an Instagram video. I'll just Instagram to save my time editing. All right, here we are Saturday, and we are in Indianapolis. Wait, is that right?
Yes.
All right, guys, it's Saturday, and we are at Indianapolis Wizard World in the VIP, and I have some awesome fans for you. All right, you gotta give me a good cheer. Are you guys ready? Oops. All right, here we go. And go. Look at that, 15 seconds right on time. Let me see who I'm gonna freeze it on. I'm gonna freeze it on you, because you're the first Instagram video person. Yep, see, I told you, man, you gotta tag in those pictures, man. You never know. No, seriously, what is this? Should I read the back?
You can if you like now or do it
I'm
later.
gonna hang it on my wall, but I swear it's gonna be bloody in a little bit.
When you were in Columbus, Ohio, we were there, and she was the one that gave you the JDF letters and the cupcakes from the Flying
Yes,
Cupcake.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We drove
Awesome.
to Columbus, Ohio for that.
Perfect. Yeah, my wife loves cupcakes. She used to make them all the time. Now she makes nothing for me. I could talk about her, man. That was nice. It's your fault if you're trying to hook up your boyfriend with me. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to sabotage my relationship. Anyway, I came in last night. The only thing, Tammy's dad had like a minor surgery on his neck. He had like a blood clot in his neck or something, pretty big scar. And of course it was Valentine's Day, so I worked it out. I had yesterday to go and spend time with, you know, Jenna and Tammy a little bit, and then I'm gonna see her a little bit later tonight. Unfortunately, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just a comedy guy, all right? So anyway, yeah, it was a good workout. It worked out good. And then originally, I never canceled shows, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And being a father and a husband and committed to my fans, I was in a really big bind what to do with the show. So I just decided, I was like, hey, if I can come in for like a one-day show, leave at 3 o'clock, be back at 7 o'clock, have dinner with my family. Maybe Tammy will never know I'm gone, you know? I'll leave the shower on, and, you know, like, what you doing in there, you know, and stuff like that. So, but that's it, and we have a lot of cool, exciting things coming out this year. The season 2 was sold to Con TV, and so Con TV is like, from my understanding, is what I saw is like it's a network, kind of like a Netflix network, but it's more con-driven. 24-hour content. And so you'll be able to see like Shatner, and you'll be able to see all these panels and these VIPs that you're not able to come to. So you'll be able to experience about 10 hours of content. In between, there's like, how many movies, Francis, is there? Or huh? Can you count real quick for me? No. But it's all like cult, like, well, I don't want to say like cult movies. What do I say? What is it, Francis? Like pop culture. Yeah, I don't want to say like cult movies because then you think like sacrifice and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like those old school Rocky Horror Picture Shows, old school Kung Fu movies, some Bruce Lee stuff. So I have a shelf that's all the Kung Fu and karate movies underneath it. Constantly adding stuff. Me and Bruce are doing a show. Bruce Campbell's doing his Last Man Standing. I'm doing the show. So we're all doing shows, and there's a lot of stuff. And I know this month, it seems like I got all these things going on, like subscribe here, subscribe there. It just happened to be the way it worked out. I worked 2 years on a social media site. Francis and everyone worked super hard to get this site going on, which is an online training course, but it's also interactive. I'll pick like 10, 20 members a month that are members to go and do an interactive karate class. Interactive stunt classes, interactive acting classes, interactive how to break into the business, interactive VIP meet and greets, interactive with my family to promote the show. And the only thing is just you have to be a member. And the reason why I did that is just to get you started in some kind of fitness program. That's it. And a lot of us are super busy. We don't have time to do stuff. I know social media and karate stuff is all over everywhere. The only problem that might be a missing formula is the discipline to go out there and do it. But I made the classes simple enough where it's not gonna just be like, oh my God, that class was ridiculous. I would never, super hard class. It's on-hand self-defense for, even for women and men to learn some stuff. And the good thing about that, you can always fast forward through some of the workouts and just get the meaty part of it. 2 classes a week. I have karate schools and I got thousands of students pretty much in Texas and California. And I wanted to share with people that love training with me, but they can't train with me. So this is the way I can reach out to people in Brazil and Canada. And it's really something that I love to do. A lot of people are like, oh, good business move, but it wasn't never that. It was for the passion of it. I've invested so much to get into that program to make it easy, understandable through PowHow and stuff like that. So anyway, that's called trainmejdf.com. Yeah, it took me a while to think of that name. I was like, man, what am I going to name when I train me JDF? What should I name that? trainmejdf.com. Anyway, I did that, and so that's out. And then the reality show, of course, got picked up on Con TV, so I know that, it's like a Netflix thing. So, but the first season's on YouTube. I would encourage you guys, if you can, for me, just to watch the show. A couple episodes. I got some Power Ranger stuff. Next season, I broke my foot base jumping, a lot of drama there. I got my parents involved, which my parents are really cool people, my mom and dad. My mom follows everybody, so if you follow her, Janice C. Frank on Instagram, she's gonna become your new mama, and she'll be like, telling you like, don't do this, don't do that. You want a new mama. That's where you need to go. I never took her to a con, so what I did is I went to Hawaii Day, and I did a free con in Hawaii Day. Just everything was free. Show up at this park, free autographs, as many as you want, whatever it was, just to give back to my fans and the community. But the day before I broke my foot, and I didn't cancel on them. I just went there, like almost in a wheelchair and crutches, and I went there, did that, acted like nothing, and then so you'll see a little bit of drama. Then I had to film the Green Ranger beatdown with a broken foot. So I had to film that and make sure I did really good on that, so you'll see the ins and outs of on screen to the off screen of the kicking someone and barely walking. So that dragged on a little bit, and then I did stuff with Johnny Young Bosch. Went to the wind tunnels, instructor accident, got knocked out, just some good stuff. Season 3, we're already filming because this show, I'm not doing it for money. I don't do stuff for money. It just falls in place. That's what I try to tell people. They're like, how are you so successful? How do you do stuff? I really do things because I'm passionate about it. And if you're passionate about something, you don't worry about the money. If you're passionate about the show and going back to Megaforce and doing the movie, the last thing you want to ask is how much am I getting paid? And that's what everybody does. That's why you don't see them on the show. That's what Savon asks. Everybody. They ask everybody. And then the pay might not be whatever, and so a lot of people get offended and they don't want to do it. And there's regrets. I should have done it, and this and that. I don't look at it like that. I look at passion. Fighting, anything, I look at passion that I enjoy it. And I think that's what we need to do in life, is you need to pick something you're really good at and don't let people discourage you. But remember, sometimes we can't pick something and be passionate because the money won't be there for the bills and it won't be there. So you have to have like an A plan. Like you might have to go work for somewhere you don't want to work, but in the meantime, you're trying to get your thing going. And when you get it going, an artist, draw, you have to remember everybody has a place in this world. Everybody. And your place is you already got a blueprint, but you're holding back from what, God wants you to do. You're holding back from what you're good at. That's the problem. And sometimes people discourage you. You're not going to, the cons. I started like 3 years ago, and everyone said I wasn't going to do anything. I don't have a fan base, and my lines were incredible, and I worked my way up to some of the top shows and some of the top celebrities because my fans don't expect things from. A lot of actors expect things from the fans, but I want the fans to expect things from me. So when I do stuff like Instagram, you'll always remember, so if something comes out, you'll probably support me no matter what it is. Oh, I've met that guy, he's cool. I'm gonna watch the show. Because when I meet someone here that I'm not too fond of, I probably won't watch the shows. Just because that person I met, it's very scary to meet your hero or someone on TV. I don't know if you ever experienced this, but you walk away going, God, I didn't. Man, it was kind of rude. And it's not that they're rude, it's their job. But this is not my job. I have no boss to tell me what to do. I don't take appearance fees. And I say that because it reminds me that I feel so good. I feel so free to do whatever I want to do. And if I wanted to cancel, it would show my characteristic of me. My characteristics is I'm a man of my word. I try to do what I can. I try to help everyone and balance it. But I have no boss. I'm the boss, and I'm hard on myself. When you let yourself slack in the gym or anyone else, you're in charge of that. It's your life. It's super hard to change the way we're eating And that's why I put that ad together about, like, honestly, 3 Big Macs, 3 fries, 3 large Cokes equals the same price of my train me for a whole entire month. So I get people to say, well, I'm spending too much money. It's like, cut back on that and start training then. Because you're able to do that. And then people are like, gotta spend the time and add the money up and be like, you're $1 something short. By the time you added that I was short by $1 on the McDonald's thing, you could have been training already. There's a lot of things that people spend, they waste their seconds in a day. We have 86,400 seconds. And what you do with those seconds matter. Remember, the people that steal your seconds away from you, you don't need them. It's just gonna be seconds off your life that you'll never ever get back. And when you get older, you start realizing this stuff. You start, saying, man, I gotta make up with that person. Life's too short. For you all, when I was like 25, they're like, life's too short. I'm like, life's too short for you, not me, because a lot of older people told me that all the time. When you get older, I was like, I ain't never getting old. I'm young, living love, baby. Anyway, but it is true, man. Like, it is true. The people that you gotta make up with, you gotta just make up and keep the peace. Because on the end of the night, and I've made up with everybody, including every ranger, and some rangers, I don't get the decency to get an email back. I've tried and tried and tried, but on the end of the day, I can rest my head on the pillow and know I did everything that I could to make peace with everybody. Because all I care about is if I can sleep on the end of the day. You remember when the ball's in your court and something happens, and you'll feel guilty. But when you can put that ball back in their court, it's up to them to play the ball. And if they don't want to play ball with you, that's on them, not you. So sometimes you have to, pass that ball in their court and try to get over your grudges. And I had grudges all the time on stuff, like I had grudges on people that worked with me on the Power Ranger show, but it's all gone now. And the only reason I had the grudges is because people didn't want to do their job. If you don't want to do your job, leave me alone. Let me come to work and enjoy my work. And you're happy and you're blessed to be what you are. You're filming, you're doing. Who else would want to come in and say, hey, who wants to be a Power Ranger? I'm going to give you lots of money. I'm going to give you a job. Don't let that get in the way of saying, well, make more money and now I'm big time. When you think you're big time, you're going to go right back down on the bottom again. So if you start on the bottom, like live in the valley like I do, humble, I have no choice but to go up. If you're already on top of the mountain and you're on the highest mountain you can, you're going to slip. So when you go down even that much, you're going to feel bad about yourself. But if you're humble, live in the valley, and you move up inch by inch, you feel like you've succeeded. And that's what I got to do sometimes. Sometimes people see me or meet me and they're like, man, you don't act like a celebrity, because I don't consider me as that person. That person, JDF, is someone that was on the show, and I have to think that way. Because if I look and be like, oh, that's me, that's this, and that's that, you have a fine line of being cocky or confidence. And you can slide on any way. You can go any way. Being a martial artist, being like, yeah, I'm good. I know I'm good, but I'll always just be the underdog. If I feel like I can beat you, I will say I can beat you, because I believe in myself. But there's that double C, the confidence and cockiness of people. And I can't stand the cockiness of someone that might not have the other C, which is confidence. If they're too cocky, they don't have confidence. So that's my life spiel. Now let's talk some questions. So you got some Power Ranger questions. And listen, if you videoed it, Francis, if they videoed it, I'd love to use this for the life coaching section on Train Me. We just need some free material for people. Just to, maybe someone listened to the message here, or someone listened to the message through the camera and said, hey, one day I'm gonna grow up with even little kids, and I'm gonna be this person. And I have so many people that say, hey, thanks for you, I'm a martial artist. Thanks for you, I'm a cop. Thanks for you, I'm a judge. So look at my life. I'm pretty set. You know what I mean? Pulled over by a cop. Hey, I'm a fan. Thanks. See the judge. I'm a fan. Thanks. Taking care of it. I'm a director now. I'm doing a big movie. Thanks. We want you in it. Thanks. Because sometimes you got to treat people and not know what you're going to get in return. And you got to treat everyone equal. I don't know if you watch MMA, but a lot of people came to me for sponsorships, and Jesus didn't tap. I had one guy that came to me and said, I'm going to be the next star. And I said, go for it, man. He had 6 fights. He's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world, and that's Bone Jones. And Anthony Rumble Johnson, who's fighting Bone Jones, I sponsored him when Jesus didn't tap. He was a down here fighter. You never know who's down here. That will be up here. So, but if you treat everyone equal, when they're up there, you're going to have a good reputation. And I'm not saying you have to always be neutral. Sometimes I don't like to be neutral. I like to express what I believe in. But I won't push religion on no one. I don't like that, just personally. I mean, I'm a Christian and God's done amazing things for me, but I can't have a Christian email me and say what I'm doing wrong on my Instagram because they're a Christian. What's wrong is you're judging me, and I can't stand that. It bothers me to say, I'll shake your hand no matter what you do. I love everybody equal. If you find God, that's great. Cool. If you're struggling in life and you need to find that, the only reason with God is when my brother passed away, I started talking to him because I had no one else to talk to. That was it, and he just listened. And I like to talk. She asked my wife, I'm like, you never talk? She's like, because you talk all the time. I guess I'm used to doing stuff like this, talking and stuff. But questions, we can go in this section, that section, this section, that, and that, right? Yes?
How did you get your start on your MMA career? What made you want to do it?
Ever since I was 4 years old, I used to spar hard in class. When I would get in trouble, my mom would take me to karate school, honestly, and we would spar. That was the answer to it. Cool, put your pads on. And I learned that. So I got in trouble a lot, so I was a pretty good fighter. And I started to say, well, I kind of like it, and I kind of like fighting. And we used to do like UFC fighting a long time ago. I was a NASCAR rated competitor. I was a fighter back then. Just being on the show, I couldn't afford to get my face cut and slit, up. So it wasn't like the fighting industry. And I did it because I like it. And then there was a bad taste in my mouth from the fighting industry, just a little bit. So when there's a bad taste in my mouth on something, I'm good enough to step back because I can do what I want. I'm not forced to do something because I have to. This is not my job. For some other people, it is their job, and I shouldn't condemn them for that because I have been. Well, I don't take an appearance fee. Maybe I'm blessed not to need the money to pay my mortgage. So I shouldn't condemn that. That's what they do for their job. But when you do it for your job, sometimes you get burnt out. And there's a lot of hey, I like you because you're paying money type of thing, and I don't like that, you know what I mean? I see so many people, I listen to stories, and the payback's through Instagram. Like, I talk or, I'll say something. That's really not my job, but I spend like 4 to 6 hours a day because I love to hear the stories because it keeps me encouraged. It keeps me saying, what I'm doing is right. I'm doing something right. I'm changing people's lives, and that's what matters to me, So, in this section, you all have questions? Yes.
I have a couple of them. What was it like working working on VR Troopers?
VR Troopers was great because, being young, I got my own show, and I can work by myself, and I didn't have to listen to all the politics that was going on with some of the other actors and everything else. I could just do what I love and not have to be dragged down by someone, and it was perfect. So then it didn't happen. Then I went back to that. When the second cast members came, it was great, but then stuff started happening again. That's the reason why people change things, only because they don't want to be there. And for whatever reason, I don't know the reasons, but you guys are young enough to know that it probably has to do with the finance reason. But other than that, when they came, it was great. I loved it. I even loved the original cast. I loved Walter's attitude. Austin had a different attitude. Twee, I loved them all when we went there. It's just, for me, I guess I'm the type of person where I get used to someone and then they replace and it's just like, now I got a new team. Now I got a new team. And then when I left, they said, we're just going to change the season every year so actors don't get used to this lifestyle. So actors can't control what we do. And he said, no matter what, when you leave, the show will go on. And I agree with that. Because in my karate school, if a karate instructor teaches that's a high caliber karate instructor, I'll say goodbye. If you don't like it no more, leave. You're not passionate, my school and my business will continue. So don't think something will continue. If you're not involved, something will always happen. And then you get your feelings hurt and say, I can't believe I was nothing. You were something. They changed the whole formula for me to do is every single year. So I took that as a compliment that we were doing something right. You had a question behind?
Yeah. What is your
Greatest accomplishment on a personal level, I would say finding Tammy was the greatest accomplishment because my life was really pretty much bad at that time with losing my brother and my best friend all the same week. And my life was pretty bad. It was really down. I was super depressed. And look, guys, I think people like me because I'm normal like everyone else. We all have problems. You think I don't have a problem? My wife is driving crazy with me and Jenna in the house. She's like, I'm the only sane one. I said, actually, you're the crazy one to like me and love me and put up with her. You obviously have psychological problems too, if you like someone like me. But that was good because that saved my life. That was my first tattoo. Well, one of my second to put Tammy's name on there, so I was like, man, I better never get divorced on this one. And if I do, I'll say, hey, my mom's name is Tammy. But now with social media, they'll catch me. You know what I mean? But that was good. And then on a personal note, like believe it or not, getting my pilot license was very, very challenging to get my pilot license. It was challenging. It was flying airplane. I thought I'd fail the paperwork. And then passed my exams, it was completely opposite. I failed my check ride, but I got 90% on, my test. So, and I'm not the best at like proper periods and commas and grammar, and I don't care what people say. The good thing is, at least you know it's me. If you read a letter that's like proper, you're like, what? That ain't him, And I don't care what people think. Obviously, there's insecurities growing up, you know what I mean? Like, people used to sit there and make fun of people, like, including me, about grammar, so I hate when someone says that, like grammar Nazis, but I grew up with that. And you never know, it's true, you never know what someone grows up with that they continue getting made fun of. And you just got to put that behind you and say, okay, it's past me. And so it's past me now. You know what I mean? I don't even like reading in public. Sometimes when I get a script, because I used to mess up in school and people used to ha 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 ha, and so I know that life, it's 3 times worse now than it was because people are getting bullied and all that stuff. So I know how to teach and I know how to tell kids it doesn't matter if someone says that. They make fun of Jenna because her dad is mean. These are things that I got to tell her about. So people say, oh, you've got hairy arms. They're just mean. The whole school's just mean. So you got to have tough skin. But we don't as a kid. We're so vulnerable and we listen and we start believing what they say. So we got to make sure that kids, hey, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Guess what? They do. Even us. We can play it off and be like, whatever, but it does. But you have to deal with that issue. If you don't deal with the problem, you can keep blocking it and blocking it. You got to get in there and dig deep and be like, it's done. You know what I mean? So there's the issues we all have, dealing with issues of losing people. I can finally, talk about without getting choked up a little bit. It's just you got to deal with it. But I'm like this too, and we all are, and we all have a cloud over our head. It's a problem, it's an issue, but we just ignore it. If you want to see the sun, you got to shine through that cloud. Go around the problem or aim through the cloud and get where you need to be. And so I feel like I'm here to tell people, either through the cameras or here, that's what we need to hear. Someone's got to be here to listen and be like, not saying anything. You don't have to be like, yeah, that message is for me. And I've done my job. That's how I feel. This section, yes.
Superpower beatdown, is it going down?
It's going down probably like March 1st, just due to all the special effects, the fighting. I went back to film alternate versions, just because we don't know who's going to win and what's the voting. So I dove in a lot more than I was supposed to. That's the reason why. I gave more of myself out of costume. That's what delayed it. So when people are like, I want to delay it, we could shorten it up, but I'm not going to be in it if that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants to see me in it, and I want to be in it. So that's the only reason. So it's going to go down. I know if it doesn't go down, the fan beat down versus. You had a question, and then you. What was your question?
So what's a 2-parter? Is the Phil Brooks CM Punk thing done? And what made you want to start with it?
No, it's not done. And we were talking at a show, and fans thought it was great, and I thought it was great. And he had interest in getting in MMA, so I put my hand up before UFC, and I said, I'll do this. And he said, yeah, that might be cool. And then now he don't know me. It's not over yet, UFC, though, by the way.
With the whole superpower beatdown thing, because we've seen the awesome things you did with the White Ranger one, now you're doing the Green Ranger one. I think maybe you'll do a suit up for Zio and.
I don't know, man. It depends. He's a pretty big White Ranger fan, and we just have to see how it goes. I'd love to. I'd love to work with Johnny too. He's got some stuff we're working on, so I'm looking forward to that.
What's your fondest moment of Glee?
When she used to get carried to set all the time, because she used to hurt her knee. People pampered her all the time. I was like, they're like, Tweety, and then they carry her. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, you already turned Hollywood on me, but it was cute. It was funny. She got carried around a lot. About this section, yes.
I don't really have a question. I just kind of have a comment. I think that you are awesome, and I think that you do awesome awesome in my field of work.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a social worker.
Oh,
And you would
okay.
do great. Like,
I'd love
like
that.
the way that,
Yeah.
like just the things that you say,
Yeah.
you can help people that way too. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
probably help people with all
Yeah.
the stuff that you do anyway,
I
but you
used
have
to
some
work-
pretty powerful words.
I used to work with, troubled teens and I used to hear people like preach and all that stuff
It
and
doesn't
not
work
not
that
get the
way.
message through
Yeah.
as a kid. So I did DARE abuse, the drug
Yeah.
abuse resistance education programs, and I just learned that you have to talk to them like
Like
it's
they're
for them to
people.
understand. Yes,
Yeah.
like not just do this because it's just boring. Like half the time I fall asleep, they'd send in a cop with a canine dog. I'd look at the dog would just sit there. Then they'll just talk about all the shanks that's in prison, about this knife, that knife, and I never got a message.
No.
It was like, cool. Now if I go to jail, I'll get knife number 3.
But,
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's good to hear that.
Well, it means a lot to find people that have the kind of attitude that you have,
Oh,
because
thank
it's really hard, especially where like what I do. It's hard to find people that like give a damn, basically,
Thank you.
and try to want to help people. And that's
If
awesome.
there's anything I can ever do, you can ask Francis. I can send you a video for the
Yeah.
kids, just a
Yeah.
little motivational video.
Well, I work more with parents, but parents that
okay.
are pretty much still in the same mentality level
Yeah.
as teenagers.
Yeah, that's good. And the videos we can get to Francis too would be great.
Yeah.
I know we got a couple more questions there, and I know we're gonna take that group shot. Sorry guys, I talked so much here. But
Yeah, are you willing to add more ambassadors to every state?
yes, we are. We're opening that up again. We can definitely have more ambassadors for us. They do a great job, and they speak out for the Power Ranger franchise, man. It's Team JDF, cool, but it's the Power Ranger franchise. I give out shirts, and I do a lot. It costs me thousands and thousands of dollars to have ambassadors, and I try to give back to my fans, but also ambassadors, and I thought it'd be a cool thing. So we will open for more, Red Ranger.
Hey, can you do me a favor here and tell my wife that you're not gonna steal her husband?
Go ahead.
All right. Recording.
Hey, I just want to let you know that me and your husband are going to dress up in spandex. Do some morphing, play with the dragon dagger. But I promise you that we'll not steal him. We'll just borrow him for a few days.
I love you,
She's
Ashley.
gonna love that.
All right, back here, and then we'll get to this section. I know. Go ahead.
Where can I find information on audition for Power Rangers?
I don't know much about that, but there's some information on the same people casted. So I know I used to work with the same people casting. I think Catherine Sutherland has information on that. She's friends with the casting director. So if you want information, hit her Instagram. She's nice. I love Catherine. She's so good to her fans too. About this section. Yes.
It's more of a comment. Thank you for everything you did, everything you're doing now.
Oh, thank you.
Been a fan of yours for 20 years, since the beginning. My son has both mental and physical issues, and it's really hard for him to look up to celebrities, and he really looks up to you.
I appreciate
And
that.
Power Rangers is the only thing that can hold his attention.
I
So
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you. I love kids. You guys were all kids at one point. I have like a gift with kids, but you're all grown up, and I try to continue what I have through that, but I pushed what I had through the television. And I think that's the reason why Tommy became popular, is because you could feel the passion through the TV. You could see the passion in someone's eyes. I know I can. If I see someone, and that's why I like coming to Comic-Cons. You guys are so passionate about Comic-Cons, you make the Comic-Con work. You dress up, you make it fun for everyone, you're passionate about it. And this is your getaway. My getaway is I love coming here, but I don't consider it as my job. I love it. I know more about costumes down than anyone. But my getaway is I jump out of airplanes for fun, wind tunnel, fight people. It's fun for me. It's relaxing. I know it sounds very strange, but I can go in there and teach all day long, and I've never once on the floor ever said I don't like my job. You know what I mean? And that's what work and success is all about. Everything else will follow. I promise. Everything will go in sync. But you can't worry about the money. The minute you worry about that money, you have bills to pay and all that, I get it. But you got to remember that someone else is in charge of your life right now. Your blueprint is already made. It's just the way it is. If something happens and you pass away, that blueprint's made. I understand that that's what we all have, and we have to fulfill the blueprint and not go off the path. There's a movie with Marky Wahlberg like that. I like that movie. I forgot what it was, but
Pain and Gain?
what was it?
Pain and Gain?
I don't know, but he was like almost like he had angels that were just taking him off his path and stuff like that. I forgot what that was. It was like he met a girl, he wasn't supposed to meet the girl, and like I forgot who was the angel. I want to say, I forgot. It was the guy I thought from Shawshank. The.
Matt Damon did for the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like that movie. Even though some of it is bomb, but any other questions? Because we're about to take group shot. You guys are all good. Give yourself a big hand. Hey, Francis, don't forget my presents there and the letter there. I'll read there. Jim's paddle. I'm gonna Instagram it and be like, all right, Tim, this is what I have to do. Don't Instagram that. We'll take a big group shot with my picture. I'll post it, guys. I'm gonna get you a photo op right now, and then I'll be at my table for the next 3 hours. Come by, say hi, got some stickers for y'all, all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody, guys. You know, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.